So I ended up losing the Samsung S90 5B and the S90D all in the same day. It sucked. It was the worst. And now I'm faced with the question that all of you guys are asking. What TV do I buy? Well, here's what an actual professional will tell you and give you as a guide point, not just from a perspective or some perch of being a professional, but someone who has experience, which is the only reason I reference professional in this video, to show you that I am living by example and doing exactly what I'm recommending you do. And that is, simply put, I am rebuying the Samsung S95D and S90D. And scratch that, I actually already bought it. Because those two TVs are the best that money can buy. I don't know why there is such a fear or phobia around Samsung QD OLEDs from a lot of the people who look at WOLEDs, but all I can say is I'm living what I preach, because at the end of the day, I know definitively, I do this every day. I know the best TVs. I don't have to guess. I have the testing and tools and equipment. I measure them, I see it, and I compare them. And there is no argument to be made. You won't find the G4 ever beating out an S95D. It's just not going to happen. People will say that it can happen, but it's not possible. It's a WOLED. And I think, again, when you start going down the list of all the other televisions, QD OLED is like the pinnacle or the upgraded version of all the things that we're comparing it to. It's almost asinine that we even have to say that because, you know, when you say quantum dot in OLED versus just a regular OLED, clearly the QD in front of OLED implies that there's something extra happening that doesn't happen on a WOLED or regular OLED. And I think people who want to pretend like, oh, well, Samsung's just, make excuses, right? We hear it all the time. Those are the people that either, for whatever ignorant reason, refuse to try something different, or just straight up cannot allow a brand that they don't like to have something that their brand doesn't have. None of which matter to you or to me, because those of us who work hard for our money, we're going to buy the best anyway. And today, if you haven't heard, that is the Samsung S95D and S90D. Both are pretty much identical in a lot of ways, but there are some key differences. Now, in an upcoming video, I will be comparing the two again using my settings after I figured out how to push contrast on the 95D a lot closer to the realm of the S90D, and we're going to show you what that looks like. Again, every time I do these settings, by the way, I end up improving and like unlocking some new ability to make these TVs look better. It's just a part of the artistry that comes along with creating your own in-house calibration settings. And if you want to see what that looks like, make sure you join, because I'm telling you it makes the difference. And also in a future video, I'll be showing you just how big of a difference. Like, I say that the S90D is a phenomenal TV, and I understand if you maybe saw a day one out of the box S90D, yeah, it looks pretty bad. And I'll be showing that, so everybody can see that I'm fair to all brands. When I say they all look bad out of the box, they all look bad out of the box, and you need someone in there that knows what they're doing to restore that, and that's what I'm going to be doing. That being said, though, I also want to show you, again, through this example, I'm practicing what I preach. I love the S90D, I love the S95D, and it is a great pairing. Now again, for those who look more for the why in things, it's really simple. I love the Smart Things app, being able to control my TV from my phone. That's not getting old for me. Also, the ability to have a USB rechargeable and solar charging remote, also pretty badass. The 90D specifically has an amazing speaker system to where you can mistake it for a soundbar, even because of the way the subwoofer drives deep, rich bass for that size, especially impressive. And then, of course, the versatility of the One Connect box for me to be able to connect everything the way I would like, how I choose, is very important, along with the, believe it or not, matte finish screen, which is the anti-glare coating that actually does have some benefits, especially when we talk about lights on in your room. And again, it might not be for everybody, but the more I went without it in this time period, the more I actually was like, I actually kind of appreciate this a little bit more, because it's like, I do see where maybe I would want reflections diffused. And it's usually when you're in a room with a lot of typically like afternoon, like 12 noon daylight. That's where I was like, okay, I would probably not want to see this much light or glare on the screen. And that's where it becomes a huge benefit. Otherwise, yes, it's a total contrast killer and it has some issues, but comparatively though, we're going to see if that even is a point worth making once we recompare against the 90D. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be very exciting. I also feel like the 90D got a little bit dimmer after their most recent updates, and because I bought the new version, or the newest version, because it's the newest thing on the shelf at the store, I feel like the 90D got a little dimmer, so we're going to have to look into that, because I don't remember it being that dim, especially since I literally have a 65 90D, and it's not that dim, so very curious. We'll see. Either way, though, it'll be interesting to see what you guys pick as your best TVs, but I want you guys to know that, again, practicing what you preach is a very big part here at Quantum TV as to what I do, and again, the TVs I went right back to after losing everything. It wasn't an A95L. It wasn't a C4, it wasn't a Q8FN, it wasn't a TCL, it wasn't anything other than those two TVs I've been championing this whole time. And if there's anything you could take away from this 5 minutes I've been going on so far, and 40-something odd seconds, you need to get you one of those, because those two TVs will transform everything you watch. You will literally feel like you're watching 3D without 3D glasses. The depth, the pop, the intensity of brightness, all of it transforms television in a way that is meaningful and impactful, to a point where if you don't have it in your life, you won't know what you're missing. You literally will not know what you're missing until you don't have it. So hopefully this helps some of you guys out. If you have questions, leave them down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.